Okay, hello everybody. This is week 2 lecture summary. For bu1003 and the bu1903. So in this week, we cover two important points. First one, we developed the supply demand diagram, which is a simple but very powerful tool that we can use to understand our daily life. Secondly, we look at an important concept of elasticity. Okay, let's first look at the supply and demand diagrams. So I'm going to work on a space of price and quantity, and I put price on the vertical axis, quantity, Q, on the horizontal axis. And you should know that this is just convention. When people talk about supply and demand diagram, people always put price on the vertical axis, quantity on the horizontal axis. Okay. I'm going to pick any point here. Any point means that when price is this many, consumers are willing to consume this many goods and service. Okay, let me call this goods for banana, market for banana, demand for banana. So if I cut the price of banana by $1 per kilogram, then clearly not intuitively we should expect that people want to buy more banana. So we reach this point. And we can do this many times and link all the points together. We call this demand curve. We should observe that this demand curve is downward sloping. Which means the higher price, the lower demand. The lower the price, the higher demand. This is called law of demand. Secondly, we are looking at the market from price and quantity space. So this demand curve describes the relationship between the price and quantity, holding everything else being constant. Okay. So for example, everything else constant, a decreasing price increase the demand. Okay. So if price change, everything else constant. We get a movement along the curve. Movement on the curve. However, not surprising, there are a lot of other factors that can affect the demand for banana, right? So if other factors change, so if other such as income, number of consumers, expectations, price of Apple, of related goods. Then the curve shift. For example, let's say banana price become cheaper. Suppose banana price of apple price drop, then demand for apple increase, then people might shift from banana to apple because apple becomes cheaper. Apple, and we call this apple is or banana is a substitute of apple. So in these cases, at every price level, demand for banana drop. So for example, at this price level, previous people are willing to buy this many, but now they are willing to buy this many. Only this many. Okay. Similarly, at this level, previous people are willing to buy this many, but now they are only willing to buy this many. Okay. So the whole schedule shift. We got this. So the whole demand curve shift to the left. Okay, that's the demand. Let's move to supply. Again, we look at the supply of banana from this space, price and quantity space. And similarly, I can pick any point here. Say this point A, which means when price is at this level, suppliers are willing to supply this many bananas to the market. So if say price goes up and not everything else being equal, so now the profit level goes up, right? So farmers are willing to supply more banana to the market. So we reach point B. Link all these points together. We have supply curve. Okay, this is supply curve. And if you look at supply curve, you can find that it is upward sloping. Slope upward. The higher the price, the more supply is going to be. The lower the price, the less supply is going to be. We have them. We kind of call this law of supply. Later on, or in the second year economic subject, for example, like managerial economics, you might find that this supply curve is actually the sum of individual firms' marginal cost curve above shutdown point. But you can ignore this at the moment. Secondly, this supply curve summarize the relationship between price and quantity of supply, holding everything else constant. Okay, so if everything else being constant and there's price change and quantity of supply will change, so we get the movement. On the curve. For example, the price goes up, quantity goes in, so we get a movement on the curve. Okay. However, if other factors change, for example, technology, number of suppliers, etc. change, then we get shift of the whole curve. Okay, to see this, let's look at examples. Suppose say this is supply planner. Suppose say there's a cyclone that blows down quite a few banana trees, and how will this affect this supply curve? So if previously, before the cyclones, if prices at this many, suppliers are willing to supply this many to the market. However, now because of cyclone, there are fewer banana trees now, so the supply is this many instead. Okay. Similarly, if price is at this level, previous farmers are willing to supply this many to the market. However, now because some trees are blown down by the cyclone, so supply is only this many. Similarly, this occurs at every price level, so we get whole shift of this supply curve. Okay, sometimes you can. So now we are saying that the curve shift to the left, to the right, horizontally. Sometimes it helps if we can think the supply curve shift upward and downward. For example, let's say this is supply. Let me just erase this. So this is supply of petrol. And we have a shock in the market, which is crude oil price goes up. Crude oil price goes up. How will this affect the supply of petroleum? Now you can think like this. To produce 1 unit of petroleum, first unit, the extra cost is this many. Now because of oil price goes up, so extra cost become increased to this point. Similarly, this happened to the second unit of petrol. Previous, the extra cost is this many, marginal cost. Now the extra cost is this many. And this happened to at every quantity level. Link all this together, we get a shift of the supply curve. And this is the same as at every price level, there's going to be fewer supply of petroleum because of crude oil. Crude oil is the input of producing petroleum. Alright, so that's the supply curve, demand curve. Now let's put them together. So price, quantity. So we have demand curve, downward sloping, supply curve, upward slope. And intuitively, you think that the interaction point should be what we call equilibrium. Why? So let me say this is again, this is banana market. So there's equilibrium quantity, equilibrium price, which is for the $3 per kilogram. Okay, why this is equilibrium? Okay, I'll call it, this is equilibrium. But why? Let's look why it is equilibrium. Okay, suppose.
Hey, how are you?
Suppose price is not at this level, say price is above this $3 per kilogram, $4 maybe. So given this price, now consumer are only willing to buy this many bananas. However, farmers are willing to sell this many bananas, so there's excess supply. So let me write it down. So if price is bigger than the equivalent price, then quantity of supply is bigger than quantity of demand, which means there's excess supply. Okay, this excess supply put downward pressure. So now there are more supply than demand in the market, put downward pressure on price, banana price, not surprising. And that in the end it caused the banana price to decrease, to drop. So as banana price drop, we see that the excess supply disappear, decrease until price drop to the equivalent price. Excess supply is equal to 0. Okay, and similarly, now you should do an exercise by yourself. Say if the banana price is below the equilibrium, say $2 per kilogram, what's going to happen? So now we have more demand. Consumers are willing to buy more bananas than producers are willing to supply. So there's excess demand that beat up the price of banana. So eventually, when the price increases to the equivalent price, then excess demand disappears. So that, in this sense, why this is equilibrium. This is indeed the equilibrium of the market. Alright, so let's supply and demand diagram, and we put supply and demand together, so we describe the market equilibrium. Okay, the second important concept that we cover is elasticity. So elasticity measures how one variables, how A, let me put it this way, how A responds to change in B. How sensitive is this response? Basically, is elasticity here is percentage change. I'm going to use delta to denote change. percentage change in A over percentage change in B. Okay, and for our purpose, one of the most important elasticity is price. Elasticity of demand. So you want to measure how sensitive the quantity demand respond to the change in price. Okay, so price elasticity of demand as percentage change and quantity of demand over percentage change and quantity of and the price. So now you should know that we do not have unit here. We are seeing percentage change. We are not saying that price increased by $1 and how many quantity demand, how many demand for the banana increase, how many kilograms. So now it's unitless. We are looking at that's why we are looking at the percentage change. So we get rid of the unit. All right. So to calculate the elasticity, price elasticity of demands, we need to calculate percentage change of quantity over percentage change of the price. In our textbook, we use what we call a midpoint. What we call midpoint. So, okay, let me say price. Let me have price, quantity, before change, after change. So, price, PO, the associated quantity demand is QO before change. After change, price is P1. The associated quantity is Q1, suppose. Okay, then percentage change of price. So is ending price P1 minus beginning price PO. Intuitively, you want to divide it by beginning price. However, and actually, let's find this is what we call this is the ordinary way of calculating or conventional way of calculating the percentage change of price. However, rather than dividing by beginning price, I'm going to divide it by the midpoint between beginning price and ending price, and that's why it is called midpoint. Okay, so this is the first step when you are calculating the elasticity. First, calculating the percentage change of top one and percentage change bottom one. Okay, so let's percentage change of price, then percentage change of quantity. So it's similarly ending quantity minus beginning quantity divided by, you can divide this by beginning quantity, but that's a conventional way. In our textbook, we use a midpoint. So it's midpoint between beginning and ending quantity. Then after you calculate this, then you can find the price elasticity demand. So it's just okay. Let's go through an example. Suppose before the change, the price of banana is $3, and the quantity per kilograms, and the quantity of demand for banana is 500. After the change, the price becomes $3.50, and the quantity demand is 400. Okay, then let's calculate the price elasticity here. We want to calculate the price elasticity. Okay, two steps. First step, calculate percentage of price, and then calculate this percentage change of quantity. So let's do the percentage change of price first. So it's ending price, so 3.5 minus beginning price divided by midpoint of the ending price and beginning price, so which is 0.5 divided by 6.5 divided by 2, 3.25. So 0.5 divided by 0.5 divided by 3.25. So now you should use your calculator. 0.1538 something. Similarly, you calculate the percentage change of quantity, so which is ending quantity, which is 400, minus beginning quantity 500 divided by midpoint between beginning quantity and the ending quantity. So it's minus 100 divided by 450. It should be negative. This is by law of demand, increase in price. A price increases, quantity demand decreases. So 100 divided by 450. So it's 0.2222. So now we are ready to calculate the elasticity. So it's percentage of quantity point negative. But we can ignore this negative sign here because we know it is negative. So let's get rid of the negative sign. Divided by 0.1538. So it's 1.44. 1.44. That's the price elasticity of demand. Okay, so we have demand curve here. Quantity. That's demand for banana. So if price $3, quantity of demand is $500. So in these cases, if I'm the farmer selling banana in the market, then the total revenue is this area, right? That's total revenue. Total revenue is price multiplied by quantity. Right? Okay, one question for you is, if given that the price elasticity is 1.44 bigger than 1, we call this elastic, which means that if I cut the price by 1%, my demand for my banana will increase by 1.44%. Okay, so this 1.4 means price decreased by 1.1%, demand increased by 1.44%. That's the interpretation of this price elasticity of demand. Now the question is, should I cut the price given if I'm faced with this price elasticity of demand? Okay, let's have a look. So if price decreased by less 1%, quantity increased by more than 1%, right? Which is bigger than 1%, so increase by more than 1%. So indeed, if I'm faced with the elastic demand, then it's true. It's a good idea to cut the price because my total revenue can go up if everything else does not change. Alright, that's all for week 2.